Welcome back to the All Blue New York Giants podcast. I'm your host, Aiden Nolan, and let's get right into it. The New York Giants have released their 2024 25 schedule and will be featured on this year's Hard Knocks. So I have everything here. We're going to dive right into it. First, we're going to go ahead and talk about the Giants being on Hard Knocks. And the past few years, I remember watching Hard Knocks and really wanting the New York Giants to get onto Hard Knocks, as I'm sure everybody wants their best their team, their favorite team to be on. And I'm so excited. And apparently, um, the Giants Hard Knocks it'll premiere July 2nd on HBO Max, I believe. I think it's Hulu too. It'll premiere then. July 2nd, but it'll go through the entire offseason process. So we'll take a look at the draft, I believe. And I'm just really hyped to see. We're going to see, them trying to trade up for Drake May. And this will really give us a glimpse on how Joe Shane and Brian Dable operate this football team much deeper. Probably will get a lot of criticism, but also we'll see how they do it fully, and I'm very excited. Obviously, I remember watching Quarterback. Quarterback's a great show, and not really like this. However, you love seeing that up close and personal type thing with your favorite teams or your favorite quarterbacks. And Daniel Jones did decline being on quarterback. I actually was one of the first to break those news. Anyway, so that's part one of this. Giants on Hard Knocks. Part two of this, I think, is a lot cooler, and the Giants have leaked their schedule, which I don't think officially came out yet, but everyone knows. Uh, Actually, they might have got released. I'm not sure. All I know is that they're out. Um, so let's go through it. I'm very hype. I'll put something on the screen too, showing off our schedule here. But week one, the Giants, I think they have three primetime games. They have a Germany game, and they play against Dallas and Thanksgiving again. We played them, I believe. What year was that? Was that 22? Yeah, I believe we played them 22, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been in the year before. One of the games I think was a blowout. Actually, both of them might have been a blowout. I don't know what I'm thinking of. But yeah, so they play those primetime games, but we'll kick it off, and I will give you my honest opinions on can the New York Football Giants win some of these games. So let me pull this up really quickly. I have it up, but I just want to get the other schedule on the side of it. So week one, the Giants are at home and they play the Minnesota Vikings. So we're gonna see Malik Neighbors going off against JJ McCarthy. If JJ McCarthy balls out, I can see a lot of Giants fans be like, "We should have taken JJ McCarthy. What are we doing? We should have taken JJ McCarthy. You see, he's such a baller." Blah blah blah. I could see this happening. So I hope we go down there and we beat them because we don't like Minnesota and we've had some success against them. But with that, I'm going to predict the New York Giants winning. I think they win at home. Season opener, I believe it's a 1 p.m. game. Uh, and they're at home anyway. I think MetLife's going to be rocking week one. I think Malik Neighbor gets his first touchdown in week one as well. So I take those odds. I think we start out 1-0 and back to back right after, as you see, we play Washington away. And I very well think, a lot of people saying how Washington could be a sleeper team. They had some decent additions in the draft. I think the draft they did all right. But free agency wise, they kind of just signed a whole lot of oldies, a whole lot of old heads. They got Bobby Wagner. I believe Zach Ertz is in the mix there too. Austin Eckler is a commander. So they have some all right guys, but I still think the Giants are better skill wise and coaching wise. So I do think that they're going to start out 2-0. I don't even remember the last time the Giants started out 2-0. I'm about to look that up. Last time the Giants went 2-0. Let's see. Wow. So it's been a while. Let's see. Most recent time. Oh, what am I saying? What am I saying? I'm 2022 they went 2-0. I don't know why I didn't think they went 2-0, but they did, and then they also did in 2016 when they lost in the wild card and went 11-5. So it's not like we haven't in a while, but I do think that we could start out 2-0, and then a lot of people are talking about from weeks 3 to weeks 8 it is just as bad as how last year's was from kind of that span when we had our San Francisco Thursday Night Football game and on. It was just brutal. And, we play the Browns, the Cowboys, the Seahawks, the Bengals, the Eagles, and then the Steelers on Monday night. I think that's going to be a rough patch. But if I do say so myself, I think, for the Giants here, week 3 is definitely lost to the Browns. The Browns, stellar defense, they're getting their stuff together. Uh, I think Watson's not going to be as bad as he was last year, and I think that they get routed, in my opinion. Hopefully they surprise me. I'm gonna obviously me making my decisions here and my picks doesn't mean that I want them to lose. It just is as a realistic type thing. So I think they lose to the Browns. They play away. Then Thursday Night Football home against the Cowboys. I think that they have a possibility to split with the Cowboys if I'm being a Giants fan. But if I'm not being a Giants fan, I think they lose both. And here on Thursday Night Football, I think the Giants lose. So we're sitting at 2-2, and then we head all the way out to Seattle and we play the Seahawks. And I really think last year we were sticking with them. I think they just have the edge over us. I think they are going to win that game, and I think that the Giants might be in a very bad skid heading into Week 8 because I'm gonna take Browns, Cowboys, Seahawks. I think we're playing Sunday Night Football Week 6 against the Bengals. I don't think we beat the Bengals. I think Week 7 we upset the Eagles at home because screw Philly. Who likes Philly? I think we could beat them. We beat them Week 18. I don't care about whatever you got to say. The starters were in when they started and they won. So yes, I'm taking the Giants over the Eagles here. So we will be sitting at 3-4 going into Week 8. And I think the Giants can beat the Steelers. Call me crazy, call me whack, call me whatever you want to do, but I really do think that they go ahead and they beat them. And the Steelers have such a weird type thing. They got rid of Pickett. They have Russ and Justin Fields. They have an all right team. I just think the Giants get it done. I'm taking Dabes on coaching us up. I know we're away in Pittsburgh. That's a great atmosphere over there. But I think the Giants win. I think they beat the Commanders. So what are they sitting at? 2-4, 3-4. I think they're sitting at 4-4 going into Week 9. I think they sweep Washington for the however straight year. So I think we sit at 5-4, and then we play Carolina and Germany 6-4 easily. Then we have a bye week. Then I think that we do lose to Tampa Bay 6-5. Then we go over to Dallas. I think we lose to Dallas 6-6. I think the New Orleans has the upper hand here. I think we lose to back-to-back at home New Orleans and the Ravens. I'm just being realistic. So we're sitting at what, 6-8? 6-8. I think we do get the job done against the Falcons. Call me crazy. But I think we do get the job done against the Falcons. I think we at home against the Colts, Anthony Richardson healthy. I think we lose that game. And then week 18 against the Eagles again. I think week 7 and 18 could get swapped, but I do see us losing one of those Philly games. So I do think we go 6-11 realistically. Um, you know, I do think that the Giants can beat a lot of these teams. I'm setting my expectations low because last year I set my expectations high. Me and Angelo both agreed on 10-7, and they did not do good. So if we're setting our expectations low, hopefully they can exceed them. And obviously, these expectations are based off of last year. I do think that if Malik Neighbors does great things, gets over 1,000 yards, I think the Giants O line shows much better improvement, which they will. And the Giants, I think, have a top 10, top 15, top 10 defense. And I do think with those factors, the Giants can very well get 8 or 9 wins here. I could see them, upset that 3 to 8 week span. Like I said, towards the back end, I think they do lose 4 straight. They could get an upset here or there. Maybe they beat Seattle. I think that they could beat Tampa Bay. I think they also could beat the Falcons. I said that. I think they could beat the Saints or the Colts as well. So I do think they have an opportunity to go 8-9. I do think that realistically they're 6-11, but hopefully I set my expectations so low that they just come out and they play they play some great football, and I'm very excited for this season. Very excited. I wanted to jump on this really quickly and just give my thoughts on it before it officially got released, which I believe it gets released tonight. I'm not sure. It might have already gotten put out. It's right now 5 o'clock. But I saw the leaks. Talking Giants were the first to break it. Um, but other than that, I think that's all really I had to touch on here for All Blue. But we're stacking videos 2 in a row. I love to see it. So make sure y'all stay tuned this off season and this summer. I'm gonna be trying to do a lot. I'm gonna try and do a lot of things. I have a lot of things planned, like Malik Neighbors film breakdown. I have planned. I have a few other videos in mind and stuff. So make sure to stay here, and watch Talking Giants as well. Shout out to them. Gotta give the plug over to them. I know that the Dexter Lawrence softball game is this weekend upcoming, so shout out LPG. Shout out all those guys. And hey, like always, let's go Big Blue, because they're going 18-0. What am I talking about? But let's go Big Blue. I'll see y'all in the next one.